Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode from your favorite channel, KonspiracyKyle. I'm your host, KonspiracyKyle, and if this is your first time visiting our channel, I'd love to be the first to welcome you. Today, we'll be going over some very mysterious and weird discoveries that have occurred here on Earth recently, with today's title, 10 Strangest Discoveries Found on Earth, the Burial Place of Cleopatra. So in a video designed to talk about some of the strangest discoveries ever on our planet, we'll actually start by talking about a discovery that is still yet to be made. Cleopatra VII ruled Egypt all the way back sometime between the year 305 and 30 BC. There are countless documentations of her absolute beauty and intelligence, and there's a whole other group of historians that could go on in great detail about her romantic relationships, but there is one factor that has never been officially solved. Where is Cleopatra buried? She committed suicide with her lover, Marc Antony, in the year 31 BC. It was written that the two were buried together near a temple of the Egyptian goddess Isis, but exactly where the tomb is still unknown. So, if we do ever indeed find that tomb, I'll be sure to include it in a fresh daily episode of KonspiracyKyle, with one last quick fact about the potential burial ground of Cleopatra. Experts say that the grave may indeed be empty, as the grave robbery during their time wasn't an uncommon event. The Jesus tomb reopened. Alright, so up next on today's list is something pretty cool, especially when you think about all that this place has been through over the centuries it's been around. Alright, so back in March of 2017, after months of restoration and millions of dollars, the tomb that researchers and scientists believe belonged to Jesus Christ himself was finally reopened. Jerusalem's Old City is a place where many historians believed Christ was laid to rest before his resurrection. The restoration project, which took a little under a year and cost a grand total of $3 million, and it welcomed thousands of eager pilgrims and other patrons within the first couple of days, and marked the first time the tomb had been opened in centuries, and is widely considered one of Christianity's holiest sites. So, what do you think? Is this in fact the very tomb where Jesus Christ himself completed his resurrection? The Great Escape. One of the cool things about doing the show is that I never know where each topic is going to take me, like this next one that ultimately solved one of Japan's oldest and most personal stories. This next piece is pretty remarkable and goes all the way back to the early 1800s, and if you need any more reason to pay attention, it's about pirates. Yeah, I thought that would work. At the height of Japan's isolation from the rest of the world, that is when Japan essentially isolated itself from everywhere else in the world, and didn't even allow its citizens to leave the country for any reason, a band of disgraced pirates from Australia that actually lived among the Japanese during this time, unbeknownst to the country's high-ranking government officials, in fact, it's only recently been discovered that this story was actually true, because prior to that, everyone just wrote it off as a myth, with pretty cool twist and a lifelong mystery, huh? The cigar-shaped spacecraft. Alright, so for any regular viewers of KonspiracyKyle, you already know that we are all about anything related to extraterrestrials, and this one is absolutely no different. So, to recap, this object was originally believed to be a meteor. Then, somehow, the thought started shifting to the fact that it was an alien spacecraft, and then right before it skied through our solar system, they started calling it a meteor again. Well, now researchers are saying that this very well indeed could have been an alien spacecraft, and Earth may have missed its first real chance to communicate with an alien species. Now, the object is actually accelerating away from the Earth, prompting NASA to admit they really don't have a clue what it was, or where it came from, or if it will ever come back. They suggest that it actually entered our solar system in the mid-1800s, but was only visible to our planet about a year ago. Strange, huh? Now, since we're talking about previously unknown discoveries, I gotta tell you, I found this photo online, and it is absolutely mind-boggling. What is that sticking up out of the ocean? We're definitely going to get to the bottom of this, so make sure you don't miss an upcoming episode from KonspiracyKyle. The umbrella with a cup holder. Alright, so keeping things going, we've kept things pretty serious today so far, haven't we? I think now would be a perfect time for a little mix-up, sort of break up the monotony of all the seriousness, which is why we're bringing you this very important yet lighthearted clip up next for number 6. How many of you have ever been out walking, maybe on your way to work or to class, on a day where there was a little rain in the forecast, so you pack your umbrella before you head out, put your keys in your pocket, and then also grab that cup of coffee that you just made. It's going to help you get through the day. The only problem is, while you have to hold on to your books or paperwork in one hand, you also have to hold your umbrella in the other hand, leaving you no hands to hold on to your coffee. Until now. Yep. Someone discovered that if they simply add a cup holder to the bottom of their umbrella, that traveling with everything else they needed would be so easy. An umbrella with a cup holder. They're just putting cup holders on everything these days. Gosh, what's next? A cup holder on your vacuum cleaner or maybe on your lawnmower? Hey, wait a minute. I'm gonna write that one down. Never mind. Let's move on. A prescription for alcoholism. Before we start this next clip, I just want to chime in and say that we love to have fun here on Conspiracy Kyle, but if you like to drink alcohol, then please do it responsibly. And if you don't, or don't know how to be responsible with it, then check this out. If you love to binge drink, then maybe you should issue a big old thank you to the researchers at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, because they just discovered a new way to help you out after studying the genomes of light, moderate, and heavy drinkers. They focus their researchers on one specific gene that seemed to have a variation inside of it when people drank more. So they're taking that variation hormone attached to the gene and using it to create a pill that hopefully will combat alcoholism and binge drinking. Now, that's pretty cool. What are gravitational waves? Okay, so the science nerds will love this next story. So a couple years ago, physicists made an epic discovery that were finally able to confirm the existence of what are now called gravitational waves. Now this incredible discovery, which essentially means that there are ripples in the fabric of space and time that are caused by some of the most violent and energetic processes in the universe. Now the thing here is that scientists have been aware of the process of a gravitational wave for a long time, all the way back to Albert Einstein. He suggested it, but it wasn't proven until just recently. The Bosnian pyramids, where we'll be talking about some pretty large constructions. When we think of the Great Pyramids, we tend to think of ones in Egypt. Well, in 2005, another set of very large pyramids were found in the Bosnian pyramids, were remarkably much older and larger than the ones that people always seem to think about. Think about this. An ancient civilization with no modern technology, tools, or thoughts built the Pyramid of the Sun, which stands at 721 feet taller than anyone in Egypt. Not only that, but people who built this set of pyramids also managed to directly align them with the directions of a compass: north, south, east, and west. Exactly. Now that's incredible. Akkadian City. So recently, a major discovery was made in Iraq. Akkadian City was uncovered by international archaeologists. This huge ancient city was founded over 4,500 years ago. Within its tablets were some of the first known writing systems ever were uncovered, making this find extremely important. Scientists have all commented that this region would have been an extremely important piece of the modern world, well, as it was all those years ago, that is. If anyone has taken a trip out there, let us know. The ozone layer's self-repair. Well, if you were around in the 1980s, not only did we definitely not meet, as I was born in the 90s, which is not relevant, but anyway, you may also remember all the talk about how us humans were damaging the ozone layer to such a degree that there was a giant gaping hole in it, and that hole in the ozone could be having an adverse effect on global warming, and it was being damaged. Just doesn't bode well for any animal on Earth, humans included, but not limited to. Well, for once, there is actually good news in regards to Earth's quote-unquote best sunscreen, and scientists are claiming that the hole has actually begun healing, and it could be completely closed up by this year, 2020, in fact. It's actually shrunk a massive amount over the last few years or so. Almost 2 million miles of ozone that wasn't there before is back. World governments agreed back in the late 80s to ban popular chemicals found in hairspray, and that was causing the damaging effects. So what does all this mean? A better ozone means less ultraviolet rays shining through the Earth, resulting in less physical ailments. because humans, as our skin, just isn't equipped to deal with, but only so much, as it's also worth noting that it will be a while before scientists are able to say this definitively has begun healing itself, but from what they can tell right now, it looks like we're headed in the right direction. And that's today's video. If you liked today's video, leave a thumbs up and share it with all your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you never have to miss out on any of our interesting videos ever again. Now wait, before we finish up, did you forget to drop your comments down in the comment section? Well, if you did, then go ahead and talk to us right now, because we love hearing from you. Plus, it helps us to figure out what stories we should keep and which ones we should stay away from. So don't hesitate to even think about it, just go comment right now.